Okay, here we go, part 2. Welcome back, thank you for joining me again. And this is looking very nice, isn't it? I'm very, very impressed about the colours here of the sun kind of coming through the trees and getting some lovely warmth on those trees. That's very nice, isn't it? So we're going to continue. Now, the next thing I think I'm going to do is I might start with all these trees. Let's get all these trees in, shall we? Let's have a bit of fun now creating some nice trees and learn about the shapes of trees and get some nice colours on these. So I'm going to take, let me see now, what kind of brush will I use for this? Look, I'm going to take a small flat brush, or you can take just a regular round brush also if you like. Let me see if I have anything else here that I can use. Because they're quite thick, I don't want to use a very small pointy brush, so I'm going to use a small flat brush, look. Just to get the thick tree trunks in, okay? So let's go. I'm going to use just, I think, on these ones anyway, some burnt umber. Now because there's a strong sun behind these, they're going to be very dark, very blacky kind of a brown. So I think maybe burnt umber and a touch of black as well. Let's take some burnt umber and some black, tiny bit of black. Let's try this now first and see. Now I did add a little touch of turpentine into this, just a tiny touch, and it'll flow much better rather than using just thick paint on its own. So let's try this. Okay, now we have one. It comes up like this, and it kind of, there's a bit of a turn in it. I'm going to put my own stamp on these now. You don't have to copy them exactly. So it's still a bit thick now, I'm just thinning it down just a little bit more, just a little, just to help it kind of move across the canvas, that's all. And then it's half up like that. And it's good as well to give it a little bit of a wiggle here and there. It doesn't have to be completely dead straight like an arrow, you see. And down then, into that little bank of snow down there. And pull the ends out, see? Just pull the ends out, create little roots. Like so. And when we have that much done, now let me just thicken the top section of this just a little. There we go. Then we can switch to our small pointy brush and do the trees, you see. Little tree branches, small branches. So I'll switch to my smaller brush, smaller pointy brush, and I might just use the same, in fact, I might darken it slightly with a bit of black. Let's put some black onto it there. And we get these very dark silhouettes, you see, against that that dark sun, or that bright sun rather. God, I'm very bad today with my words, I'm getting my words all mixed up. So I'm just putting a couple of branches in here. Very, very kind of loose, very free. And there's a lot of branches now just on the top section of this one. There's not much on the bottom, but I might put an extra one or two just here and there. See, and then give them a little wiggle. A little wiggle and a little flick here and there. And that's probably the easiest way of creating nice trees. And would you like me to zoom in slightly? What do you think? Because we're only painting trees, I'm going to be using just brown and black. So I'll zoom in a little bit here so you can see a little bit better, okay? Now, I hope you don't mind. So I'm just going to maybe just use now just black on its own. Plenty of thinners in this, nice and watery. And let's get busy now up here with some little branches. Not too many, we don't have to do too many on this one. We have a kind of a big branch here, kind of curving over. And remember, always keep your branches thicker by the tree trunk. They're always thicker by the trunk, and they get thinner as they go out then. Okay, now that'll do fine. So we have a lot of excuse me, sunlight hitting one side of the stone tree. So for that I might just take a little bit of yellow Now you can't see what I'm doing here, but all I'm doing is taking a tiny bit of yellow with my pointy brush and a tiny bit of red. So I've made a lovely kind of an orange. I'm just going to add a little touch of that orange just down along the side where the sun is here. Now, that was my heater just going off there. I have a little heater in my studio here because it gets quite cold on a wintry day. It gets very, very cold and chilly. So I'm just pulling some of this warm colour now through the tree trunk just by the sun there. Now I might take a bit more brighter colour, a little bit of yellow, a bit of naples yellow, cadmium yellow, and a little touch of red. Okay, just to give it that bit of brightness from the sun. See, that'll do just fine. And I might add a little dab of black down here because this will be very dark in the shadows from that bush in front of it. So it'll be very dark down here. So plenty of black on your brush and just little flicks downwards, you see? There. Now, 1, 3, done. Excuse me. Let's move on to the next one. And the next one now has a lot of snow coming up, doesn't it? So it's basically that shadowy colour that we've done. So let's mix some of that up. I'll take a little touch of cobalt blue. And I'll take a little touch of the red, the crimson red. And a good bit of white. And let's just give that a quick mix. And then we have a lovely lilac-y kind of a colour here now. Let's start the bottom of the tree with this colour here, see? And now I don't want to cover the sun. So what do we do here? Could I maybe twist it around the sun? What do you think? We could kind of break the branches off, so the branches could kind of maybe go either side of the sun, just like this. How about that? So we have the snow, and then as we come up higher and higher, I'm going to darken it with my pointy brush. I'm going to start taking some brown, put a bit of brown into that colour, that lilac-y colour, and we start darkening the branches as it comes up. So I'm mixing that colour then into the lilac that's already there. Now I'm going to go around the sun. I don't want to go right through the sun because I might spoil it. Isn't that right? And then we can go into some burnt umber. Again, nice and wet, just plenty of burnt umber on your brush. And we can use burnt umber then to come the rest of the way up like so. And I'm softening it down into that kind of shadowy snowy colour underneath, see? There. And from here on now we'll just basically use a little bit of black mixed in with that brown, so a nice dark watery colour. Alright? So let's go right up here now. Again, I'm not copying the photograph exactly, I'm just doing it my own way from here on. We could have another one kind of breaking off of that. So as you see, we're not going through the sun directly. We are kind of coming off each side. Now we could bring a couple of branches in front of this tree here. So that will then push that one back behind. Alright? And that's another good idea. It's looking quite nice, isn't it? Coming on nicely. I'm very impressed with the colours. Lovely soft kind of subtle colouring. Turned out quite well, didn't it? So I'm just putting a couple of little flicks here and there off of these branches. Tiny, tiny flicks. So you see, we don't even have to go all the way up the canvas to the very top, do we? Now let's just go a little bit higher here. Let's try and even them out a little bit, try and make them somewhat kind of similar heights. There we go, see? Just flicking it along. Here and there. Okay, that'll do. Now I'm going to leave these kind of set a little bit. So when I come back to them then, our thicker layers will stick better. Now I'm just adding a touch more deeper purpley colour to the bottom of this. There we go. See, I just added a little bit of blue into it. And I might even take some of that colour and apply some of that to this tree here as well also, because if one has snow going up, then the chances are the other one will too, isn't that right? So just a little bit, see, look, just on the bottom. And then I'll take my flat brush again and I just want to sit those on the ground so that they're not just kind of floating in midair. So I'm just going to put a little bit of snow. I just took a bit of white and took a little bit of lilac with that, and I'll just put a little bit, just a kind of a couple of dabs of snow here and there, and that just kind of sits them down, doesn't it? Okay, just drag it across here and there. Like that. Help it sit down. I'll be worried about shadows and stuff like that later. So let me zoom back now again slightly for you and see what we have. Okay. There we go. Doesn't that look lovely? So far so good. Again, you don't have to copy the photograph. You can by all means if you want to, you can, but I'm not going to copy the photograph too much. So let's move on to these ones, and we have a little kind of a small bushy one coming out here in the middle, don't we? So I'm going to take a little bit of that black, nice watery black with a little bit of brown, and let's suggest a little bush, little small bush coming just kind of sticking out here and there. Just suggest a couple of tree branches, small ones, small little tree branches just around here. Okay, see? Because there's lots of stuff going on, isn't there? There's lots of little bushes and that type of thing all around the place. So there, okay, that'll do. That's rather nice, isn't it? And then let's do this big tree. Okay, let's crack on now and really get this big tree in. Now we do have another one here. Let me see. I'll start this one here because it's further back, isn't it? The one in the centre, the small one. It's further back, so I can then go in front of that one with these closer ones. See? So I can paint over that then, paint across it with my closer trees. I'll show you what I mean, look. So let's just stick a very kind of stubby, it's a very kind of a weird stubby looking tree, isn't it? It's just branches sticking out all over the place like that. Okay, there we go. And you can see now the paint is quite wet, but I'm putting thicker paint on top of that then, you see. Just a little bit here and there. And then I take my pointy brush and let's put a couple of small little branches coming off of that. It's just a very small kind of a stubby old tree, isn't it? And I will take a little bit of that lilac again and sit that down with a bit of that lilac-y colour. And give it a bit of shadow also, see? Just put a little bit of that shadow across there. Okay, there we go. And I might, as I have that colour on my brush, I might just add a little bit of that here as well. Okay, just like so. Then put that brush down. Now I'll take a pointy brush and I'll give that tree a little bit of snow. So let's take a bit of white and I want to just make a tiny bit of a lilac-y colour again, but mostly white. Okay, and just on top of the branches, look, a little bit of that colour to suggest the snow resting on the branches. And clean your brush after each brush stroke you do. There we go. Done. One nice little tree done. So now I can do the other two in front of this, see? So let's mix up loads more colour. Let's get some black. Mix up a good bit of that now. Some black, some brown. So black and burnt umber, lots of turpentine, make it nice and watery. So because these are oil paints, you can use them as a watercolour type of a paint as well if you want. You don't have to use thick paint all of the time. So let's go, okay, around here, yes. And let's go right up out of the painting with this one. So this is a nice big strong tree. And remember, it has to be very thick at the bottom then to support its huge size, doesn't it? So I'm going to make it nice and thick at the bottom. And let's switch to a smaller brush again. And I'm going to make it very dark at the very end. So I'm just going to take plain black on its own, lots of thick black paint, and let's just paint that on here. There we go, now we're talking to that, nice and dark. And perhaps a bit of brown, just to keep it warm. You have to be very careful when using black because black can get very cold if you don't mix it properly. And because there's so much warmth in the painting, I don't want it going cold. So now let's take brown and black again, mix them up, lots of water, lots of turpentine in this, nice watery colour, and let's go and paint some branches. So look, you can look at the photograph if you want. I'm just kind of going to go my own way with this, I think. I'm not going to try and copy the photograph exactly as it is. There's no point. It's just a reference, that's all. It's more of a reference for colours really. So if you're sitting down at home and you're looking at a photograph that you want to paint, just use the colours as your reference. You don't have to copy it exactly. You can make it your own. And I'm not even looking at the photograph now at the moment. I'm just painting my own way. You know, put your own stamp on it, as they say. Make it your own. Don't be afraid. See? Okay, we can put another thick one out here. Just be careful when painting trees. Don't make your upper branches too thick because you run the risk of it looking like it's about to fall over if it looks too heavy on top. So just remember, keep your branches nice and small and thin, and you know, make it look like the tree can hold all these branches. Because if I put one big huge thick branch now off the side of this, it would look funny and it just wouldn't look like it can hold that branch. So I suppose the tip is never make your branch thicker than the tree trunk, because it just will not look right, and you'll end up then having to make your tree trunk thicker to make it look right. So that's what I would say. Don't make your branches too thick. You can make them as long as you want, but as long as they're not too thick. It'll make it look proportioned, you know. Now, okay, that's one, that'll do. We can add to all this later. We can add on little branches later. I just want to get the bulk of the work done. Okay, I'm cleaning my brush and I'm going to get some, I want to put some nice warm colour on this, some bits of snow and stuff like that. So I'm going to take some white, just find a clean part of your palette here, a tiny touch of that crimson and some Naples yellow. Let's make a nice warm sunlight colour. And I'm going to just suggest some light on the tree here. Little bits of snow kind of resting against the tree. Then when it gets dirty, give it a wipe with some tissue, because you don't want to transfer all the dirty colour to different parts of the tree. So give it a quick wipe and go back into your clean colour then again, you see. And let's suggest some bits of snow, branches, that kind of stuff, here and there. Okay, just like so. And we can do the same with this little tree behind it here, look. We can suggest little dabs of snow here and there. Resting against that. And then I'm going to help it sit down, put a bit of snow just on the bottom of that there. Softening everything together. Alright. And then I make some thick snow for the branches. Again, I'll take some Naples yellow, a tiny amount of the pink, and lots and lots and lots of white. And let's suggest some snow resting here and there on those branches. Again, just little bits. Alright, you don't have to go crazy, you can put as much as this as you want, but I'm not going to go too crazy with this. Okay, I think that might do. Add a little touch of snow just here and there on the bottom of that. Okay, then I'll stand back, have a look. Alright, looks good. Now, another one done. We'll walk away now on shadows and stuff later. So let's move on to our final tree over here. On the left, we have another tree there. More burnt umber and more black. Lots and lots of turpentine. By the way, you can add a drop of linseed oil into this if you want. That would make it nice and creamy. But I don't use linseed oil normally, to be honest. I'll show you. I have a bottle of refined linseed oil here. Let me go close so you can see that. But that's all I've used in the past 2 years. That's how regular I use it. I hardly ever use it at all. It's just like, it's kind of like a vegetable oil consistency, and it just makes the paint nice and sort of creamy. You can try it, see how you go, see what you think about it. Now this one here kind of comes out and it turns and it goes up like that. Oh, there we go, it turns up like so. And let's just make nice thick trunk on the bottom of this, look. There we go. Then I put that down and switch to our small brush again. Now I'm going to put plenty of black on the base of this tree. So just work that black into that wet colour there, see? Just at the bottom. Make it nice and dark. We want a nice silhouette here now with this one. Let's take plenty of that now and go up here then and do some nice branches again. You see, there's just lots of branches sticking out all over the place, isn't there, on this one? So you could just use your imagination and go wild, if you like. Absolutely fine. Let's bring this one right up here. Just make it plenty of turpentine in this. Make it nice and wet, it'll go further for you. And this is a nice painting. I'm very happy with the colours in this. Turned out lovely, didn't it? I'm very happy and relaxed now with this painting. You know, it can be tricky working with snow scenes, having a snow scene with warm colours. It can be a little tricky, but I think this is a big success, and I can't wait now to stick a frame around this when I'm finished and show you what it looks like with a frame. And I'll put this on my Etsy page, see if I can sell it. I reckon I might sell it alright. I do sell them very cheap, to be honest. I don't like charging huge money for paintings. You know, each to their own, I suppose. I just like to cover my material cost, that type of thing. I just like giving people a good deal on artwork. You know, it's a gift that was given to me, so I think I should use that to make people happy and give something back, and you know, not charge an arm and a leg, basically. You know, but postage is very expensive here where I am in Cork, in Ireland. So for example, I don't know what the postage costs are in your country, but if I was posting a painting, say this size, with a frame to the States, you know, I probably would be paying around 35, 40 euros to just to post it. It's ridiculous. So that's why I have to charge extra for posting to the States, because it's quite expensive. And of course with all the packaging and everything else that goes with that. So it does get expensive. Now, let's put some snow on this again. Let's take some white, and let's take some of the warm colour this time, some Naples yellow, and some red. Okay, nice warm pinky colour this time, and let's put a little bit of that colour on the light side of the tree where the sun is catching it. There, isn't that nice? And as I'm kind of putting this on now, I'm almost kind of rolling the brush just to get it off, okay? You see? I'm kind of rolling my brush around and the paint is coming off then. There we go. Little dabs of snow here and there. Isn't that lovely? Well, I'm going to put a little bit of a warmer colour on this one, a little bit of pink, just here and there. I could even run a little bit of that pink through this as well. And I'm going to make it nice and warm now, just on that side there, because the sun is really coming across. I want it to really kind of brighten up here, okay? So you can see where the sun is really hitting it, just there. Isn't that lovely? Excuse me, I'm an awful cough today. Well, I'm going to switch to a smaller kind of a flat brush. So this one, for example, and I'm going to make a nice shadowy colour. And I'm going to start putting some shadows in behind these trees. I'm going to darken these shadows just a little. So it's more blue now this time, there's more blue than red. And look, I just want to kind of soften some shadows in here and there. And then you can even soften them with your finger across, okay? I just want to give more of an impact, if you know what I mean. There now, you see? That's better. And put that across with your finger and soften it into the wet colour underneath. Isn't that lovely? And we could probably even do the same with this. Just a little bit here and there. Okay, you can put it left and right, make it nice and soft. And we'll do the same with the one next to it. Okay, and I'm going to darken some of this one, just here and there. So with some burnt umber on my brush, just kind of flicking it down. So I suppose, look, I've gone over some of the snow there, but it's still showing through a little bit. And then maybe add a dab of snow to this one. So let's put some snow kind of climbing up the sort of climbing up the base of the tree, if you know what I mean. So look, let's just add a little bit of white and climbing up here and there. There we go. And I want to darken some of the shadows on these guys here around the front, just to help them stand out that bit better. And then clean the brush and get some whitey, nice bright highlights on those. Let's brighten them slightly because they're a little bit on the dark side, I think. Isn't that better? Yeah, that's a bit better now, isn't it? And I go along and I might just kind of lighten some of the highlights, add a bit more kind of bright snowy colour here and there. See? Just a little, couple of dabs here and there. And it's very fun doing this, really is. Get a great buzz out of seeing the painting kind of come to life. It's fantastic, it's great fun. Now, so I'll put a little bit of snow just here and there. Perhaps there's some light kind of coming through between those trees a little bit, you know. Let's just kind of mess around with it. It is a snow scene after all, so I want to put plenty of snow into it. Little kind of, little amount of snow here and there. It doesn't have to particularly look like anything as such, but it's a snow scene, so we should have lots of kind of bulky bits of snow on the floor. Just little bits here and there. Now do try this, I'd love to see your take on this. And of course do email all your paintings to me, I'd love to see what you're doing, how you're getting on. So don't be shy. Okay, how's that? Look at that, that's nice now, isn't it? Turned out quite well. Now you could keep going with branches and, adding loads. Let's add a couple more branches. I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll take a smaller brush, very, very small pointy brush, and I'll take lots of turpentine in that colour, and I'm going to add some nice dark little branches here and there. Alright, let's put a couple more in there, look. Okay, let's fill it up slightly. So just extend all of these branches and look, little flicks here and there. A bit more detail, yes? And I suppose it's great practice for trees. If you're, you know, if your tree painting is not 100% and you're not happy with it, this is a great tutorial now for practicing your trees. So you're learning a bit about everything really, aren't you? Trees, snow, shadows. You know, there's a lot of learning now in this tutorial. And it's great fun as well. Put a couple up here, look. A couple coming off of that. And there. See, it's looking a bit better. Now I do want to put some light on this tree. This kind of looks very bland to me, doesn't it? Let's rest some snow on those branches. Yes? Again, the warm snow colour. Couple of dabs here and there. Like so. And we go up here, we put a little bit of snow along that branch, a little bit on there. So the snow is kind of gathering just in the corners of the branches. See, that little bit now just helped, didn't it? Made a huge difference. I'm going to add some more snow to this. I think it needs it, and a bit of light on this one also. Now, isn't that better? Next thing we need to do is sign. So let's come down here now, take some black paint, come down here and let's sign this. Need some more paint than that. S. Conway. Now you can keep going, adding more detail to this, put your own twist on it. You could perhaps even get a fan brush and stick a bit of snow here and there on those trees. But I think we kind of achieved what we wanted, which was creating a nice snow scene with some sunlight, real strong sunlight in it. I think we've kind of achieved that, more or less. What we could do actually is let's take a fan brush and get some of that warm whitey colour, okay, and perhaps even put some little flicks of grass, so the grass will have snow, bits of reeds kind of popping through here and there. How about that? You know, just little bits of roughage. That's the word I'm looking for, but a little bit of roughage here and there. Okay, I won't go mad, just a little. Okay, that helps. And I think that's it. Let's zoom in now and see what we have created. And I'm loving that colour right there by the sun. And those colours just gorgeous. Aren't they? They really are. So nice warm snow, nice trees. And that turned out very well, I think. I'm very impressed with that. And the sky is lovely too, isn't it? It's a nice subtle sky. Very, very subtle sky we put on. So let me zoom back right back here now and we'll get a frame for this. Here's one I made earlier, as they say. Let's pop this on and stand back and admire our new painting. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? I'm very, very happy now with that. And the frames really do make it, don't they? You should always frame your artwork. I think the frame makes all the difference. So let me just turn here so you can see me again. Now, there we go. I think that was fantastic. I had great fun with that. That's great. Oh, the yellow and everything. Alright, thank you so much for your time and taking the time to watch this, and I hope you've got some kind of tips from it. Let me know what you think. It's cold in here, I tell you something. I will have my lovely new little sunset snow scene with the cottage this week on my mainstream YouTube channel, and I will be back here again very soon with another tutorial for you. Alright, give me some requests if you're stuck with anything in particular. Please just send me an email, and I'll possibly even do lots of small little tutorials as well, small little subjects for you to help you out. So do let me know, stephenconwell12@gmail.com, or just on my Patreon site, just send me a message. Again, thank you so much for all your support. It's really helping me out, and you're being very, very kind. I really do appreciate it, okay? I really do. So I hope you have enjoyed this month's tutorial. I'll become more regular. I'll just start uploading lots of different subjects, I think, rather than spacing them out very far between. So yes, lots more to come very, very soon, alright? Go off now and have a bit of fun painting, and let me know how you're getting on, okay? Thank you very much for joining me, and thanks again. God bless.